My name is Sally Brooks. I have been involved in family court corruption. It started when my daughter disclosed what was going on to her at her father's home. Not only being a mother, I'm also a trained mandated court reporter due to my profession. I followed the rules and brought her to CPS, and they said I was a vindictive ex and that I was making this all up. And I told them that her father had moved to another county and was moving in with a girl the same age as my daughter. And they said that I was mad that he was moving, and that was not the case at all. Since then, I have been threatened. My daughter's been threatened and told she has to say she lied after she did disclose at Children's Assessment Center the abuse. So it was continued that joint custody be ordered. A few years later, enough came about where he was unwilling to pay for medication or give it to her. And a lawyer took my case. We went into court, and I had her on my own for 2 years. Things were great. She excelled at school. It was just a wonderful time. He got a lawyer. You're losing me. We were sent to a court evaluator who I believe is married, the two. They're supposed to be two separate, independent ones. I believe they're married. They asked her in front of the perpetrator if it happened or if she lied. That traumatized her. This whole time we've experienced all sorts of symptoms of a normal, well, not normal, but what a child would do if sexually abused. She's been to the YMCA for treatment. The visits were supposed to be supervised this whole time since the incident. However, they were not. She was picked up from school by him 1 day a week until 8 o'clock. She wasn't allowed to, he would not allow her to use a cell phone. The school was puzzled because the court order said they were supposed to be supervised. When they were supervised at the Y, she would not see him. And so they said that they don't force people to see anybody unsupervised. And we had to have a guardian ad litem that I had to pay to. And she told me she was given a book by her father. It's a PAS book, if anyone's familiar with that. This whole time I have been considered, because I've been trying to protect her from what has been going on, I have been perceived as alienating her from her father. Now it's come down to, I've been told that I negotiated that time that he could pick her up from school and have her till 8. She has seen 6 counselors, every single one of them, even from Bethany Christian Services and from Catholic Social Services and from the Y and private ones that I've had to hire. All say that she should not be around her father, and all agree that it happened. However, the court evaluators, the lawyer I had to have do an ex parte because I got a call from school saying that she didn't want to go with her father. I didn't know I was supposed to get my original divorce lawyer. I did call him, but there was no answer there. I ended up with Diane Goller. She's married to a judge. She's a friend of referee Adam Comar's, and things were going really good. Then she just had me come in and she said it was about the case. However, there was a gal named Stacy Van Dyken with 6 boxes of my records. Diane had a check for the retainer and said, I'm going in business with your ex's lawyer, So here's your new lawyer, and I'm paying your retainer. For 2 years, nothing happened. In the meantime, I was stalked, threatened. There's also, if he does not pay a certain amount on a revolving credit loan, I will be homeless. He hasn't paid any towards it. I brought all these issues to court, and Adam Komar, even though it was proven what his income was, and even though it was proven that he was lying up on the stand, after I lost Diane Golar, referee Komar said that she was grandstanding and that he really doesn't know what his income is. It ended up for 2 years that Stacey Van Dyken did nothing. I got called into her office to pay a second retainer. I have evidence to back up at that time that she was going to have this loan that's, I'm being held hostage, that they call it, because I can't refinance or move. She was going to have him use his business that he owns and is president of as a lien instead of the home that I have my daughter in. And then also he was coming into my home when I was not there. He was also coming into my home when I was not there and taking our daughter Shannon to his home in another county. I brought this up to the guardian ad litem. She said, you need to call your lawyer. I told my lawyer, and as I'm paying that retainer, she told me on the phone we were supposed to be continuing an evidential hearing that was started. I was supposedly going to get $800 child support. When Stacey Van Dyken took over the case for 2 years, nothing happened. She swore at me when I said, when are we going to do, continue Diane Golar's evidentiary hearing? She said, when you get your ass down here and pay me another retainer. I remember crying this whole time thinking my daughter is going to be living with her perpetrator and I'm going to be in jail. I was not allowed any PPOs from the court or from the police. My furnace had been, I believe, tampered with. It ended up that we both were carbon monoxide poisoned to the point, and they did an on-the-spot legal disability for me. I was no longer able to work, and I had my daughter full-time. Friend of court did not investigate when I asked them to. They ordered $100 a month, child support, and when Stacey Van Dyken ended up dumping me after I paid the retainer. I went to all the lawyers, several, probably the 5 good ones in Grand Rapids. I was told there's too many fingerprints on my chart, no one would take me. I finally found a young guy who would take me. He appeared to be a great lawyer. He did the best he could for family court. I had to come up with another $5,000 retainer. The 6 boxes of my records were Stacey Van Dyken would not release to my new lawyer, nor to me. She still has them. She said she would never send me an invoice. I have just received an invoice for $1,000 for services that were not rendered. And I just hate to see what this does to children and families. This corruption with CPS, giving children to men who have sexually abused them needs to stop. It traumatizes them for life. I am not the person I used to be due to legal system abuse. And my daughter and I are going homeless. We are now on disability. And he is allowed a couple visits a week. I have her full time. And my child support was supposed to be $800 a month. And I was to go with a friend of court $100 a month. Thank you.